Hey, everybody. I know this looks really familiar. It's, me and Virginia on a, recording. It's on a video being released on YouTube. And you must be thinking, wow, this is like Life for Your Soul. But it's not.
Yeah. Why are we happening on a Saturday?
Yeah.
Well, why am I wearing a hat? I reserve hats for my online experiences that are fun. So that's why I like Christian Anything Show. But Rachel and I had the idea of starting a new series for YouTube, specifically for YouTube, talking about topics, new things that are going on in the world, a little bit more short, maybe 10, 15 minutes, Saturday mornings. We're going to, you know us. Time is just a concept. We don't really understand it. So, we wanted a place to talk to you guys and have fun, have a little bit more chit-chat conversations. And Saturday mornings are fun. That's kind of the goal. We want to sit back, have you kick back on the couch, hang out with us, chill.
Instead of your Saturday morning cartoons, it's going to be
Saturday mornings
with Virginia and Rachel. Yeah, we just wanted something that's a little more topical, a little bit more geared towards what's hot, what's in the news, what people are talking about. And so we figured, well, let's talk about it. Let's talk. So that's where we're getting our new series. And so like Virginia was saying, short videos every Saturday.
Yeah. And YouTube is a weird place. And let's be real. When we have a podcast called Life for Your Soul, we are often suggested some very interesting things in our behind the scenes in our YouTube studio. And it really is an interesting picture of what's going on in the internet in the spiritual space. And there are lots of things that pop up on there that we would love to just chat about. Some we were just like, nope, not touching that with a 10-foot pole. But other things, we're like, you know what? That actually could be an interesting conversation. And that has led us to where we are. So would you like to hear what we're talking about, Rachel?
Yes. So we did our little YouTube algorithm telling us what people are searching for, what people are looking at, what people want to know and want to see videos on. And we came across one that was really weird. So I didn't know anything about it, which is rare because I know everything about everything.
She does. So smart.
But Virginia was like, this is a little weird. Let me do some research. So she went down the rabbit hole to find out what the heck is going on. And then she's going to clue me in right now while she's telling you and me, the audience and me what's going on. And then we'll talk about
Surprise. This is something that's really fun too, because there have been so many times in conversations when I'm explaining something to Rachel or she's explaining something to me. And I'm like, if we could have recorded this, then it would have been a great episode. Yeah. So this could be our outlet for that. Okay. As Rachel perfectly teed up, in our background when we were doing research, we came across a topic that people have been looking for on YouTube. It was saying something along the lines of Chosen One. And at first I was like, are they talking about The Chosen, like the TV show? And it's like, no, it's not it. And it said like Chosen One, why they hate you. And this is why Chosen One, you are like disregarded and all this stuff. And so I'm like, okay, let me click on this. It is roughly, this idea that they're talking about is roughly based off of Matthew 12:18, which says, here is my servant who I have chosen, my beloved with whom my soul is well pleased.
Which is about Jesus.
So that's special.
Yes.
And so it's talking about like there apparently are people, a subset of people that are identifying as chosen ones. And God does have a lot of language in the Bible about how we are his special people and we're set apart. And right, that's a common theme. So it linked one of the videos to this guy. I don't know if I should say who he is, so I'm just gonna say this is what I found. I found this video. I click on the video. There's a video about the chosen ones produced by this guy, and it had a ton of views, like 700,000 views. So I was like, all right, this seems like the most obvious choice. So I click on this video. This guy, the way the video opens and the first few sentences out of his mouth, it immediately made me think of people who go looking for YouTube videos that only confirm everything that you're already feeling, and they don't confront them at all. It's like there's nothing to think about. Because the video was titled something like Why You Are Hated, Chosen One, or Why They Hate You, Chosen One. And the whole video opens with him just being like, chosen one. This is why you are hated. If you are a hated one, if you are a chosen one and you feel hated, this video will give you all the reasons as to why. And he just repeated it. Okay, chosen one. Number one reason why they hate you and they're persecuting you is XYZ. The second reason why they hate you, chosen one, is da 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 da. And I'm like, if I am a child of God and ministering to someone in some way, I would never use the word hate that many times in a video. It was crazy because as I'm reading it, I'm like, why are you so negative? This video is so negative. And it's not like he was mad or angry or anything, but just the use of that word hate is like every sentence he was finding a way to weave hate and chosen one into everything he was talking about. And I was like, man, this is a lot. So I clicked around, followed some links, and found his website. And it's really really dangerous because at first glance, he's called an apostle. He's a doctor. I'm assuming PhD doctor, but in the spiritual world, unfortunately, you can be a doctor and it doesn't take a lot. Everything you would read a sentence and it would seem okay, to fulfill, like pursuing the gospel and helping God's children. But then there would be like one line that kind of like distorts something and it makes it sound a little weird. It's like, this seems really suspicious. And so, yeah, it was just very interesting. And looking through that realm of content, it's clearly a subset of some kind of new age reformation-y type of, I don't know. It was weird. This is where I'd love to hear what your thoughts are, Rachel, about it. But it's just this element of lots of people who are online on YouTube searching for things about like these special chosen people of God that are hated and persecuted, about spiritual like awakening and spiritual revival. And that they're not talking about like a Holy Spirit revival,
Yeah, I think because we want to kind of just keep this succinct and topical, I think that this is a perfect example of the devil reinventing the wheel. Because you got to remember, the devil has the same tactic all the time. And it may look slightly different and maybe repackaged, but it's still the same core lies and deception that get us hook, line, and sinker. Yeah. And when she was telling me this about the chosen one, it actually reminded me of a new age. There's a new age movement called Starseed, and it sucks people in. And part of it is, I'll just read the little description from Bing. It says, Starseed meaning is a soul that has not originated from this planet or has lived lifetimes in other galaxies or star constellations. A starseed has deep spiritual wisdom and may carry special abilities. A starseed may feel that they do not belong here on Earth or struggle with certain things that happen in this dimension. A starseed may be shy, introverted, or very creative. They are different types of starseeds with origins elsewhere in the universe. So if you want to look at a similar but new age concept, it's this idea like you feel out of place. The devil coming like, oh, you're different. You feel out of place. You don't feel accepted. Well, there's a reason, right? And fill in the reason. Well, you're unique. You're special. You're different. Adam and Eve, when they were created in the garden and they were walking with the Lord, had everything they could ever want or need it. They were in perfect relationship. They had no sin. Everything was great. And the devil still snuck in and was like, yeah, but are you sure? Are you sure everything's great? Are you sure there's not a little something more? Are you sure there's not something else that you're missing? And are you sure that God is trustworthy? So you have this idea of questioning, God's integrity. So with the starseed stuff is like, there's no God. It's like this weird alien. You're coming from some other place in the universe, but you're unique and you have special powers and more psychic abilities. And it's crazy how many people have fallen for the starseed theory because they want to feel significant. And that's the key here. Anyone who's feeling bad about themselves or insecure about themselves, they want to feel special. They want to have a reason to exist. They want to have a purpose. And unfortunately, people are going to these weird concepts, like even this guy going, the chosen one, you're chosen. That's why everyone hates you and you're being persecuted. And that's why you're unique. And that's why you're special. It's kind of true in the sense that God has chosen us and we are his elect and we are adopted into his kingdom and we're his children and he loves us.
Mm.
Like that is where our significance should come from, is that, God loves us and we're his kids, not because we have some special, unique innateness.
Yeah. And here's the thing, like, it's dangerous. Like, it's so dangerous because, especially this guy, he's talking, everything seems like it. If you're a part of a charismatic environment, like, it would seem like it's on trend. He talked about prophetic things. He's an apostle. He had a school of seers, right? Prophetic seers. And this is the thing that I was reading that I couldn't find. It's the description says that he's a seasoned teacher and spiritual guide. This program takes you on a profound exploration of your purpose and prepares you for the remarkable tasks ahead. Get ready for an experience that will stand out as one of the greatest of your lives. This program is meticulously structured, blending divine wisdom with contemporary teachings to provide you with a comprehensive understanding of your role as student.
Definitely catchy. How much is it?
So, the school is full and registration is closed. So, I don't know. I don't know about you, but I read it and I'm like, I could just see how it's very easy for someone to read that and think, oh, this is legit. Like, I'm going to go click on this. But when I read this, I'm like, a lot of the, what would you call it, Rachel? Is it all just couched under New Age? Like, what the genre of this kind of walking a weird line?
I think it's pulling on the hole in your heart. Like, everyone has places of emptiness. Everyone has places of deficiency. Everyone has places of insecurity. And when you're being sold a bill of goods that's going to fix that, like, some people will pay any and all money. Like, they will just dump money and they'll throw it at anything that can promise them that they'll know what their purpose is and be able to have the secrets of the universe. And it's very Gnostic. It's very mystical, New Agey, cutting edge. It's to catch you and pull you in and going, oh, I can't get this anywhere else. I got to get this here.
And the thing that I was going to mention was that it's like, it's always in the words that are missing, like by one little word or just a little phrasing. It's always in the words, the phrasing that, for me, I feel like that's the tipping hand of thing. And when it says, blending divine wisdom with contemporary teachings.
What kind of contemporary teachings? Anti-biblical,
and
outside
what divine
biblical
wisdom?
teachings?
What is the divine wisdom? So here's the thing, like, Rachel and I, especially for like Life for Your Soul, like, it's very clear. We're talking about biblical principles. We talk about biblical things. We say it a lot, right? There's no mystery as to what the divine is that we're talking about. We don't even say that word. We just say it's biblical. That's the thing. It's like, and also, really, we don't need, like, sure, we can use practical applications for things. Jesus spoke in parables to help people understand things in a real life situation. But also, the only real wisdom that we need, we actually find entirely in the Word. Like, we don't really need to explore beyond that with our contemporary teaching.
Exactly. And I cannot reiterate this enough. How the devil gets you is it's that desire for just a little bit more, just a little bit of the unknown. And we have this, humans innately have this, like, thinking that, like, they can troubleshoot any and everything. Like, there's always going to be an answer for everything. And there's always a solution. And I can always get myself out of something. It's that, like, human drive of ingenuity. Like, I can figure this out. And the truth is, sometimes you can't. And actually, a lot of time you can't. And that's why we need to be dependent on God. But nobody wants to be dependent on God. Hence, the serpent talking to Eve. He's like,
come on.
Right now you're totally dependent on God for all your information. But if you eat this fruit, you will be like God because you will have all the knowledge of good and evil. And so there's always that age-old temptation. It's the same playbook. Satan's still playing this playbook. He hooks you in, reels you in, and anything that seems new, provocative, evocative, all of these things that are just like cutting edge or like quantum or whatever, there is new stuff we're discovering and things are amazing and things are progressing. But you gotta be watchful when people start talking about this in the spiritual space, because a lot of the time, this new age, cutting edge stuff is really just repackaged Gnosticism, repackaged mysticism, repackaged witchcraft, even in the church. Like,
yep.
And you got to be careful and be wary and just take I don't want to say with a grain of salt, but like just slow your roll when you hear this kind of language.
And I would say any part of you, to your point, Rachel, that's like jumping up of like, I want to know more. Like, give me a little bit more. Like, I want the inside edge. Like, tell that part of yourself to sit down.
And just know that
yeah,
even if you are prophetic, okay, even if you have giftings and callings, God is not hiding them from you. You have to seek him about it. But he's not like trying to like make it hard for you to figure out what your purpose in life is. Your purpose in life is to be conformed to the image of Christ and have the character of God in you and just do everything you do unto the Lord. Like that's the real purpose. Is that mystical? Is that cutting edge? Is that woo? No, it's boring to your human mind. It's boring. But
not
God
knowing
said
the answer is difficult to just sit there and be okay with the fact you're just not going to know some stuff.
Because you're relying on God. But see, the human mind is like, I don't like that answer. I want a different answer. I want the secrets to the universe. I want to have special innate powers.
That was the downfall of Satan, by the way. Just in case you're watching this being like, but that does sound good. Be aware.
I'm not saying only prophetic people, but prophetic people who do have a prophetic calling or tend to interact more with the spirit realm, they fall for this stuff more than the average person who's just very practical and living their life. So that's an extra caution to those who are in that camp, because it's not about your abilities. It's not about what you can do. That's not how you earn God's love. And that's why we always harp on here at the Sevenfold that you have to be secure in the fact that God loves you. And that's what gives you the security, because it's not about performing. It's not about special abilities. We can be the hero of our story only because Jesus was the ultimate hero and he made the way for us to follow in his footsteps. And this guy talking about the chosen one, it's kind of insulting because the true chosen one was Jesus. And we're only chosen because God first chose us, because he chose Christ. Christ chose us. Yeah. And it's all a cascading effect from there. And we come up underneath Christ. He's the head. We're the body. We're not in charge. We're not the primary aim and goal. We're not the most important thing in the universe. He is.
Not to mention, God even said that you will be persecuted. You will go through trials and suffering. If they hate me, they'll hate you. Yes. Jesus tells us this and then tells us to turn the other cheek, to love our enemy, to bless those that persecute us. Even going down the thing of you're like, okay, I'm chosen, going down and consuming content that confirms and affirms people hating you, and it's okay to be hated in that sense of like, because you're just so special. It's like, that's not really the point. That's not what we were supposed to be doing.
Yeah. And a side note here, how demonic spirits and spirit guides and a lot of these things win people's favor and wheedle their way in. How a lot of evil people wheedle their way in.
Talk about it, Rachel.
Flattery.
That's right. That's right.
So the flattery of, let's say you're a spiritual person. I don't know. There's people who, have taken drugs and gone on like a spiritual adventure. Not recommending you do this. It's not good.
Don't do this.
But or they might see a spirit guide, and so they have this entity, this being coming to them saying, "Oh, I'm either a new entity or some something from the past, some special person, like I'm Buddha from whatever." Will come and be like, "Oh, you're special. Like the reason why I'm talking to you right now is that you're unique, right?" Like they flatter their way in. People who want to get your influence, they flatter their way in. They play on your insecurities. And that's why, to just nail this point down, is your insecurities need to go, because your security is in Jesus and in God loving you and as a child of God. And I don't think this guy, maybe he's a little misguided, but I think it's kind of interesting that Jesus said, yeah, if they hate me, they'll hate you. But I don't think he intends people to go and do a sermon series on that.
Right.
Yeah. Like he's just saying it's just the fact of life. It's not, they're not rejecting you. They're rejecting, Christ is saying, when they reject you, it's not really you they're rejecting. They're rejecting God in you. They're rejecting me. That's who they ultimately are rejecting. Demons hate God.
I mean, how many people
hate God.
have had family and friends who love them? They get saved and all of a sudden they're the black sheep. It's the God in you they're rejecting. It's not
it's
you.
It's not even about you. It's this innate rebellion against God.
But that is good. That is really good. So yeah, we're not going to harp on it because we love you and we think you're great. And we all need to change, and we have things that we have to grow on. So just know that we love you enough to help because we're working on ourselves too.
Yeah, so just keep this thought in the back of your mind. Just know when a devil wants to sneak his way in, he's going to try to play on your insecurities. Just like he did. He created, even his questioning to Eve created an insecurity that wasn't there.
Yeah.
His questioning God and saying, you don't have what God has. It created instantaneously an insecurity. So when these people come to you, this is the last warning and we'll close it here. But when these people come to you saying, there's something I know that you don't know. There's something special about you that you don't realize. Like whatever it is, you be wary of those attacks of the enemy that create an insecurity in you that wasn't even there, that creates a thought process you weren't even thinking about, and shut that down. Shut it down. Start speaking the word of yourself and just know it's not even about me. I'm not that special, and that's okay. All my specialness is because God made me.
Yeah.
I'm loved because God loved me enough to create me. You know, like it's
and in that sense, you are special, right? The creator of the universe knows exactly who you are. He made every little hair on that head. He knows everything about you. That is special.
And you're made in his image. You're so special. You're made in his image. That's why Satan wants to take you out.
Yes. He got booted from the family tree and he mad.
Yeah, it's not just about you personally. He wants to take all humanity out. So that's why you got to look out for these plots and plans of the enemy and keep your eyes open.
All right. I hope that you guys have enjoyed our first ever Saturday session of Let's Talk.
It's been fun.
We'll come back again at some point. It'll probably be Saturday. So stay tuned. Let us know. Turn on the notification bell. Subscribe if you like this kind of content. Let us know in the comments. And please do share with a friend. It means the most. We would love it.
We love you. Bye.
Bye.